says.
There is only one way to master learning any skill. And no, it isn't through AI-generated shorts, AI-generated chatbots, or online discussion boards. There is only one proven way to master learning any new skill, and that is through experience. You want to learn how to bake? Reading and memorizing a cookbook is a great first step. However, at some point you will need to get up and actually bake a recipe from that cookbook. If one wants to be a filmmaker, they can read all the books on filmmaking and watch as many films as they like. However, at some point they must get their hands on a camera and begin filming. When it comes to computing, it's hard to go about gaining the right learning experience without making any rookie mistakes. You say to yourself, oh, there's a laptop. Okay, let's open it up and surf the internet. There's more to it than that. Oh, let's drop an entire life savings to build a War Machine PC tower just so I know how to build a computer. Well, you might end up crying if that was your first computer build without getting any help. So what's a good way to gain experience with computers without just surfing the internet or breaking the bank building a computer? This here is the Kano Make Your Own Computer Kit. I was blown away on how well designed this thing is. It made learning about computing really simple for first-timers without prior experience in tech or basic coding. Right when you open the box, you get a Raspberry Pi 3 circuit board, a plastic case, a light-up power button, a micro SD card with the Kano operating system on it, a wireless keyboard with a touchpad for the mouse, and of course the wires and adapters to power on the device. Right on the lid of the box includes a manual that explains how to assemble the computer and what each piece is called. Again, we're gaining experience building our very first computer from scratch without biting off more than we can chew. Already off to a great start with its design on keeping it simple for the user. After the assembly of the device, the manual tells you to power on the Raspberry Pi and it begins teaching you the principles of coding. I like how they chose a simple terminal/command prompt format. This visually conveys to the user that this was how early computers displayed its interface. Today, almost all modern computers have the graphical user interface, or GUI, that we are all used to. The prompt tells the user to type in commands to give the user the feeling of what it is like to program their own computer. Once the user has finished programming their computer, they have the choice of using their device to A. Play educational coding games, B. Write e-text documents, or C. Use it as a general computer by surfing the internet and sending email. Anything you can think of that a modern laptop can do, the Raspberry Pi can do as well. However, the main feature of the Kano Computer Kit is the Story Mode feature. In the story mode, you play as a sprite in a type of RPG 16-bit game, and the map of the game is designed as if the player is traveling around the very Raspberry Pi circuit board the user has built. As the player explores the map, the player begins to learn more about the circuit board. Like this part here. Here is the antenna of the computer that connects it to the internet. Or this part on what ports such as the HDMI port looks like and what it does. While the player is exploring, the player can also go through the educational coding games, such as coding a game of Pong, creating art and music, and hacking a game of Minecraft. But my personal favorite is Terminal Quest, where the player learns how to operate a terminal by typing the correct computer commands to progress through an interactive story mystery game. So to sum it all up, experience is the best teacher, and when it comes to gaining experience with computers, the kit has made it 1,000 times simpler. This is a great first step towards learning more about computers in general, without going overboard when it comes to gaining foundational knowledge for computing. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. I also have a social media, a main website, and merch in the description below. JMJ.